And Robin was pretty brilliant in it, from what I hear. You know, he's brilliant now. I can imagine he was extraordinary in the role. It's such a great role, anyway. He's playing a character. You know, he's not just showing up. He's not just showing up to show his face and hey, that's Robin Ellis, the old Ross Poldark or whatever. I mean, you know, when we were doing that scene in the courtroom when Ross is standing up for Jim Carter.
This court is better able to interpret the law than you.
But then the law is savage, and you interpret it without charity.
Step down, Mr. Poldark, or we'll have you committed for contempt of court.
I can assure you such a committal will be an entirely accurate reading of my thoughts.
We had a chat after the scene, and Robin said, like, I remember so well. Like, it was one of those ones I remember like it was yesterday's son. But he didn't do a lot of that. But he did say, I remember this scene so well when I was Ross in that courtroom, you know, screaming at another Reverend Hull's character. And I thought that was mind blowing, actually, because I could imagine what it would be like, you know. So in 40 years' time, when I'm wrapping open, I'll be Reverend Hulse, you know, it'll be great. Complete the circle, or keep it going, you know. The evolution of Poldark. When we shot Poldark, we were in Bristol, shooting the interiors for like 6 weeks or something, and I just, you know, it just came alive when we went out of the studio. Obviously, we were invested in what we were doing, and we knew where we were going to go, and we had our arcs, and you just know these things when you've read the script hundreds of times. You just know where you have a sense of where you're going to go with the character and stuff. But it really came alive. Like, there's nothing like getting out there, scenes that even in your head you can't imagine what they're going to be like until you're on a horse out in the wilderness in Cornwall, or at the side of a cliff somewhere in Bodmin Moor, or wherever it might be, in St. Justin. And it just, you don't have to do anything, it just does it for you, you know. It's so dramatic. I kind of wish in some ways we had started that way. Like, people talk about, are you scared about playing an iconic character or anything like that? And I was just petrified about getting sick, because I thought, if I get ill, I'm screwed. Like, if I jump off the horse one day and just go rank on an ankle, I'm like, oh dear, I can't work now for 3 weeks, and we just got to shut down production, the crew go away and probably don't get paid and have to show, we're going to lose people, and that's a nightmare, and that's only a rolled ankle. I mean, if something happens, that scared me. Just this sort of the delicacy of oneself when you're out doing that and you're committing to a role, and you know, you're on a horse and you're doing a thing, or you're just working a job for 6 months and you're training and everything. People get sick all the time, and I didn't. I one day getting food poisoning because I had a dodgy sandwich, and that nearly derailed me for the bloody whole thing, and I got over it. And I wouldn't mind, it was a day when the press came as well. I was just like, I'm not speaking to anybody. I was such a drama queen, it was awful. But that scared me, but that was it. So that was the hardest part, was trying to just maintain it, just stay on this thing, stay on this juggernaut, yeah. I mean, the accent was an important thing for me, because it's not just that gentrified, posh British accent and that RP, received pronunciation, dialect. There was quite a specific thing that I was after. Whether I executed it or not, I don't really know. But I wanted to sort of flatten the O sounds in certain parts, that he didn't sound as posh or as gentrified as Warlegan or as Francis, or some of the other characters. But then I have to be careful too, being Irish, that some of the flatter sounds don't just sound like, hey, you're just making a ballsy accent, mate, you know. And it was subtle. And sometimes it was better than other times. But that was something I wanted to make him, because that was the cross, that seamless thing we're talking about between the classes. I wanted him to sound gentrified, because he went to public school, he is educated, it's an ancient family name. He would sound like that, but I think he's the kind of guy who doesn't like the way he sounds. But you can't always change the way you sound. It's just, that's you. And he's not the type of person that would do it anyway. So again, it's those subtleties. And you know, that wasn't a guideline in Winston's books or Debbie's adaptation, but you just get it from good writing. It resounds with me. From the first time I read it, I thought, this is going to be a thing I'm going to need to get right. You know, if you sound sort of like this and you have a thing, people aren't going to attach themselves to this character, but you need to keep it in that real world. And so finding that voice was important for me. And I was lucky I had weeks to do it. I learned that I'd be brutal at that job. I could never do it. It's so dangerous and so dark, and
I don't know how they managed to do it at the time, and to really want to do it, you know, and just, it's such a gamble too, you know, you're chasing a vein of something, whether it be lead or copper or tin, or it's such a gamble, you don't know where it's going to go, and there's so much money involved in just taking a punt on maybe it's going this way, and if it does, you strike it lucky, and if it doesn't, you know, you're bankrupt. I mean, it's such a gamble. Did I learn a lot? Yeah, possibly. Will you see it in the show? Possibly not.
It's different for me. I know I talked about watching the 70s version of Poldark with Robin Ellis, and that's slightly different for me to any kind of to piece of literature I might read on a screenplay or a movie or a TV show, because I don't want to, you know, I don't want to emulate. I don't want to copy the other performer. I don't want to nick bits of his research and what he's been doing, and that's what I'm conscious of, because, as I said before, once you know something, it's hard to unknow it. It's hard to go, okay, I can see where I might fall into that trap, so I'll try and not do that while I'm trying to be real on set. It's just too difficult. So not knowing stuff like that, not seeing a performance, can sometimes be easier. I mean, look, how many Shakespeare plays do you see in actors? I mean, it's important that you'd see other people do it, to see where the bar is. So it's not always, there's no sort of, there's no right way or wrong way of doing it. It's just whatever you feel at the time. I didn't feel like it would necessarily help me doing this particular project. Do you mean like I might go back having played a character like Mitchell or
yeah,
or
like small things they would do, you would accidentally do that for Poldark, even though that's not
oh yeah,
part of his
yeah.
character.
It's a good question. I mean, yeah, but the small things you think about as well. I mean, like with, yeah, you know, you don't want to emulate. You don't want to copy stuff you've done before, and you want to try and make it different. And I guess, you know, you can be a creature of habit sometimes. And when you're unsure about something and you fall back in the safety net of something you might know, and being human was a very early job for me, so there was a lot of instinct was used in that. You know, when we were rehearsing and shooting things, I just went on my own thing, and I want to see where I was going with it. And yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe you might play a character now where you kind of go, you catch yourself and go, Jesus, that's a real Mitchell thing. I do know what you mean, but I think it's important I choose jobs kind of carefully. That I if there is a very close, if I see a close tie between, you know, one character and one I've played before, you know, I might steer clear of it, I suppose. Or if I feel I can't do something that's very different. For that purpose, I wouldn't, because it just wouldn't excite me enough. If I see a line that's too close to something I've done before, it just wouldn't interest me enough to respond to the script, I guess, or something. I mean, I want to keep changing things and making them different. I'm feeling different. I want to feel different every time I play a role. I don't want to feel like Mitchell again. I want to feel different about something. So I guess I hope that wouldn't come up. But I think it's a good question, though. Yeah, I mean, you can be lazy. Yeah, laziness happens all the time. Instinctually, I think, you know, I probably am. I fall back on stuff. If I don't understand a scene or I'm not getting what I want from it, it's easy just to cheat and do something that comes easy to me and naturally. But, you know, that's not why I'm in it. So I try to fight it. Look, I don't know. Love is weird. It changes, doesn't it? I mean, it's odd. I mean, you want the thing you can't have sometimes, you know. I think he makes, we see it in the third book certainly as well. I mean, he's sort of, you feel like he's grabbing at something. He's trying to make his relationship difficult. And if his relationship wavers with Demelza, naturally he's going to turn back to somebody that he's known since he was 15, you know. It kind of makes sense to me.
And there was a scything scene. I got quite a lot of flack actually for the scything scene. I think there's like an association in Britain who were like, mate, you're doing it wrong. You're not getting it right. It's quite a relaxing thing to do. And we had a guy, and he was brilliant. You know, the chap who showed me what how to do it on the day, but it just wasn't dramatic enough, and it wasn't very Ross, getting stuck into the thing. And when I started doing it, I could see him in the corner of my eye just shaking his head. He was so disappointed, you know, because he showed me this little way of doing it where you just kind of rotate and you can move on and rotate. It's kind of like putting on a golf green, you know, and I just went, that's not going to work.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's sure. I mean, it's a hard question to ask. So many things need to be in the right place. I mean, for what we've achieved on the series we've just shot, the team that's in place, you know, there's so many people need to be committed to the show to make it as good as it has been. You pull one or two of them out, it's probably not the same show anymore. If it's not replaced in the same way, or if it doesn't work the same way, and people don't evolve in the Poldark world in the same way. So it's a hard question to answer. Of course, you'd like to say yes, but it needs to be as good. The bar is high now, and it can't lower. And if it lowers, I guess it's over. So, you know, yeah. I mean, I hope the next series is as successful. The one that we're going to do, that we're booked to do, and we're available to do, is as successful as the next one. Yeah.